Hello, all you Biconics wrestling nerds out there, and welcome to another rendition of the Raw Squad Reviews, your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw review team. This time, it's just me this episode. I will be rocking this review solo. Apparently, Senor Luchadon and Minnie have had a tussle, and neither one of them is here tonight. So I will keep you updated on that saga. But let's just jump straight into it and not waste any time. So this Monday Night Raw comes from San Jose, California, and this took place Monday, February 26, 2024. And we kick off Raw this week with Dominic Mysterio, introducing Rhea Ripley, who is just fresh off her win against Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber from this past weekend. And Rhea Ripley starts to cut a promo, which then signals Becky Lynch to come on out. Rhea and Becky go back and forth. We are building up towards their match at WrestleMania this year. I love that Becky Lynch called Dominic Mysterio a dirty little kumquat, which was hilarious. And Rhea actually had some fire in this promo too, because she says that behind every man is a stronger woman, but I'm not behind you, Becky, I'm in front of you because mommy's always on top, which this promo served its purpose. We are building towards Rhea versus Becky at WrestleMania in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited for this match. As Dominic and Rhea leave the ring, this cues Nia Jax to come in and beat up Becky Lynch. We'll talk more about these two later down the line, but I thought this was a fine promo. It did everything that I needed it to. We're starting to build this story and this feud towards WrestleMania, so it should be a good one for sure. From here, we get our first singles match of the evening. Sami Zayn taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in like a 15-minute bout. This was fantastic. The only critique I have is that commercials here really hurt the match, but Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura put on a phenomenal match, and I thought this was so good. This was really fun. Sami Zayn picks up the victory here, which is important because we will talk about Sami later and what his road to WrestleMania is going to end up being. Then we get a quick squash match. Chelsea Green is on the microphone talking about she is performing and wrestling in protest because Raquel Rodriguez took her shot away and to lose an elimination chamber like that. Raquel comes out. This match does not go more than 2 minutes. Raquel hits the Tejana bomb for the win, and that's the end of that match. Fine, sure. I feel like you could use your women's talent a little bit better, but that's neither here nor there. We then are backstage with Sami Zayn, who is interviewed about his path to WrestleMania and all that good stuff. And then Imperium come face to face with him, and Gunther has a little bit of a stare down and laughs at Sami's face before leaving. Are we setting up Sami Zayn to be the one to dethrone Gunther? Well, there's going to be a lot of factors going into this because we saw some other competitors who are looking to go after Gunther for that IC title, which then leads to Gunther and Imperium in the ring. Gunther talks about how he's fresh out of challengers and where does his path for WrestleMania go. He has pretty much beaten everybody on the roster, which he's not exactly wrong with that one, but he wants to know if there are any other challengers left. Cue the Judgment Day coming in. So Damian Priest, Dom, Finn, and JD, they go back and forth with Gunther. It seems that we might be teasing Damian Priest cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Gunther. Sure, cool, whatever. Which then leads into a backstage segment where all the Judgment Day boys are backstage and they run into Rhea Ripley. Rhea says that the boys better know what they're doing dealing with Gunther. And then we get this small interaction with Dominic and Andrade, because Andrade is looking for his first opponent. And, are we teasing that Dominic Mysterio is going to be taking on Andrade as Andrade's first opponent? I'm not upset about it. I cannot wait. I think if we end up doing that match, it's going to be fantastic. So then we get probably one of my favorite matches of the night just because I have a propensity for violence. This leads into the street fight between the New Day and Imperium. Both of these teams literally were using anything and everything to kill each other, but that gnarly whip into the chair to allow Imperium to pick up the victory was so crazy to watch. And honestly, I'm kind of happy to see Imperium pick up the win here. I think the New Day losing doesn't necessarily hurt them in any ways. I mean, they're the New Day. They're like the best tag team on the main roster right now that WWE has. And I think this is an important win for Imperium because it gains them credibility and a threat and could position them to get a championship match for those tag titles down the line. Adam Pearce is backstage where Chad Gable comes up and he says that he wants a rematch at Gunther. You know, the last time him and Gunther faced off each other, his daughter has not stopped crying about it. And like he made his daughter cry with the loss and wants to redeem himself. And Adam Pearce said he would think about it. So contender number 2. And I hear the internet already, so let's just address this now. A lot of people are saying, because the rumor is that we're supposed to get a ladder match for the IC Championship or for the United States Championship, regardless of whether ever the plan is. A lot of people say they don't want to see a multi-person ladder match. And I say, why not? It's WrestleMania. You got to have the fun and everything. It's going to be a good time regardless. So I, for one, would love to see a ladder match for that IC title because it allows someone to win the title without having to pin Gunther, and you continue to make him look strong in this whole entire thing. But from here, we get into another squash match with the women. Tag team match, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starkk versus Candace LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This was a one-sided affair with Zoe and Shayna picking up the victory here. Didn't they win a number 1 contendership match like a month and a half ago or something like that? And they still have yet to have a chance at the tag team championships. Who knows at this point what's happening? Obviously, Shayna and Zoe picking up the win here, no surprise. But yeah, the women's stuff was not necessarily my favorite this week because outside of Becky, we haven't really utilized a lot of the other women that we got. Backstage, we have R-Truth, Miz, and DIY becoming a little faction, and that they have a plan for the Judgment Day, so I'm excited to see how this plan is going to unfold. Then we get my promo of the night. Drew McIntyre is out in the ring. You know, he talks about how he's going to be facing Seth. Seth comes out. They both go back and forth. Drew tells Seth to not stick his nose in Cody and Bloodline business because he wants Seth to be 100% by WrestleMania. Seth says he can't do that, and that getting rid of the Bloodline is the best thing for all of professional wrestling. And so, will we see Drew try to keep Seth in line? Will Drew end up helping Seth and Cody just to keep Seth from hurting himself for their match? We have weeks to see this out, but I have thought this was a phenomenal promo. This is great. We then get into Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Nia Jax has most of the offense, but Liv starts to pick up steam, and then Becky Lynch comes out of nowhere, attacks Nia Jax, and causes the DQ. So Nia Jax wins this match via DQ, and Liv Morgan loses. We then see Becky Lynch. We'll get Nia Jax next week. I'm pretty sure Becky's going to win this match to get her win back since putting over Nia Jax at day 1 earlier this year, which then prompts Liv Morgan to come through the backstage and say the line that every other person on the internet has been repeating in memes and things like that, that it's not always about you, Becky. And then Liv Morgan storms off. Before I continue with the review, I want to say my piece on this whole thing that's happening because there is some discourse with people not being happy that Liv Morgan did not win the Elimination Chamber. And look, I'm a big Liv Morgan fan. I think she's phenomenal. I do agree that with some more time and more promo work, that she'll be a fantastic star down the line. But you guys, come on. I don't think she's ready for Rhea Ripley. And she just got back from injury, y'all. You need to build her back up and get her some wins before you throw her in a championship match like that. Come on now. Normally, I don't like to express my opinions like this because I try to stay positive and I want to be a breath of fresh air here on the internet wrestling community. But you have to look at it from a logical perspective. She is a character. She just came back from injury. And so everyone's response is, let's throw her into a title picture. No, we need to reestablish who her character is. We need to get her back, have a couple of matches, pick up some wins here to establish a record, and then we can potentially push her into the spotlight for a championship match. You can't just come back from injury and jump into a championship match because we have seen sometimes when that happened and how much it has backfired on people. So, Liv Morgan is probably going to be turning heel at this point, which I would love to see a heel Liv Morgan. And I'm interested to see that if she gets involved with Becky's match against Nia next week and causes a DQ or a distraction or something to that effect. We also get another backstage segment. This time it was with main event Jey Uso, who is talking about, his loss to Gunther. McIntyre comes up, says some stuff, they fight, and they break up. So we're getting Jey versus Drew next week. Cool. We then get to our main event, which sees Grayson Waller versus Cody Rhodes. This match is happening because of what went down in Elimination Chamber. And Cody wins, so that was fine. And then after the match, Paul Heyman comes out. Cody Rhodes is tired of waiting. He's going to wait as long as necessary. Paul Heyman tries to intimidate Cody with some security guards and tells him that we're going to talk. Cody says, take another step and I'll beat you up. Beats up the security guards. And then Paul Heyman ends Raw by saying, call Roman Reigns and then call The Rock as it goes off the air. Obviously, I kind of flew by past this Monday Night Raw because the wrestling itself outside of the street fight was very paint by numbers. But ultimately, this Monday Night Raw did what I wanted for the last couple weeks and mostly was focused on storytelling. While the in-ring work wasn't necessarily the best this week, I still enjoyed it, and we're laying the groundwork for all the things that we're potentially getting at WrestleMania, which is the right call given the fact that we are just 6 to 7 weeks away from the big event. And I'm super excited to get there. Overall, I give this Monday Night Raw a 7.5 out of 10. As I stated before, the in-ring work was okay and serviceable. We got a lot of promo stuff. We got a lot of story builds. And the road to WrestleMania is here. So this should be very interesting to see where we go with that. But that's going to be the end of this Raw Squad review. If you enjoy what we do here at the Biconics, you can check us out all over the YouTubes with all the other stuff we got going on. Follow us all over the social medias at BC WrestlePod. If you can't watch our videos, you can now take us on the go with you as we have audio podcast versions of these reviews now. And last but certainly not least, you can check us out live at the New Jersey Wrestling Convention on May 18th and May 19th. So check us out. It's going to be a good time. Come say hi to us. It's going to be fun. I'm going to get on out of here. But for myself, Minnie, and the rest of the boys here at the Biconics, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, stay Biconic, you guys, gals, non-binary apparels, ye, she, theys, and yays of the internet. We will see you for the next one. But until then, ta-ta for now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's going to happen next time? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.